with me, of course.
Hello, hello.
We are actually in the new studio. It was,
She is.
well, she's
I'm
in
in
a,
the old.
she's made it on a Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we're sorry. Just if life can get in the way, sometimes it does. And
We knew that you guys would just be so entertained just by knowing we exist.
but it doesn't even have to just be our life because actually, uh, it's uh, there was an older man here in Ashtabula that died, and these nimwits put him in the car, propped him up, and took him to the bank to withdraw $900. Now the one lady is saying she was going to pay bills with it. They're both, I guess, known drug users. Third party was actually charged because he assisted, and but they have an identification for him. That was nice of
Um,
them, I guess. Needless
I
to
guess.
say, they're looking at 8 weeks for an autopsy. Years old, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ay,
So
ay, ay.
it's just
That,
that's some of the stupidity in this world. That's our life now, not ours per se, but the
like our
yeah.
existence.
When you look out your window, you're amazed at what you might see.
It's crazy, like, because it's $900, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like you're you're risking your freedom for less.
I hope they're just sitting there
They
stewing.
used the money from the last old guy that they took through the bank.
That would be so sad. Two of the women actually they live with the ghost hanging in there. I'm
That's not weird at all.
no. I mean, it kind of sounds like they were just sitting there waiting for that day to come so they could profit from it. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget what that's called. I feel like there's a name for that. The people,
Gold, but they didn't have to work for the money, I guess.
well, in the pictures,
Chance that he was always dressed very well, and had all the
in,
top notch
in high
stuff,
school,
and
that doesn't mean she had.
words.
I would hope so, but obviously, Jeepers Creepers, you could see, but the rest of the world can't. But
Ooh,
it's
there's my handsome baby. Hi, Caden.
he's 12, even though she talks to him in a baby voice. He's a big kid.
Yeah, they're all grown up so fast.
Yep.
These two cute though.
He is very cute.
What do you have to say about life, Caden? Where's Grandma's baby voice? Where'd it go?
I think he screamed it into the Xbox.
Oh,
He used it up. And he bangs stuff too. I keep thinking he's gonna fall through the floor.
yeah. They all three love their video games.
Yeah.
I wish I had stuff like that when I was a kid.
Well, we did have stuff like that, but thankfully you just played in the against your own self, so you weren't screaming at horrible, terrible things.
Things up.
The little floaty rings would go up, and you gotta drop
Yes.
them down.
That was my entertainment.
Barking at something real or the wind. Do you see a car, kid? And since I'm half expecting somebody, I keep trying to keep watch.
So she mentions barking, and my dog starts. And they're downstairs. I can't even hear her.
Well, if you've ever tried to sell something on Facebook Marketplace, downsizing and trying to sell things so we don't have to take them with us. And selling stuff on there is crazy. You get people who ask questions that are already in the listing. You get people who act really interested and then disappear so we can text.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Actually, somebody just posted today that they were trying to buy something through the marketplace.
For something before you got it, you're
Yes,
not smart
definitely
this
don't
day and
pay.
age anyway.
Yeah, don't pay before you see it. Even make sure you even want it.
That's like one of the biggest scams right now. I mean, they do that even in my animals. It feels like a down payment, but you need a deposit, and then you can come get it, and then you know it's fake. Although usually if it's a Highland cow or a mini donkey, you know it's fake anyway. But
And what makes that fake?
that's just the hot ticket animals, so that's just what they're.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
So they're just that's the go-to thing. Whatever's popular.
I can just sit here and smile. I can see my grandson. I can't wait till they get home.
No, either.
But I'm here. I'll brighten it up.
Yeah. You will. Are you gonna help put up fencing and do the barn and stuff?
I said I brighten it up. Where did you hear me say I'll work?
Well, that's how you brighten. That's twofer. It's like a bonus. It's like learning on the job.
Hmm.
I feel like that's a wonderful idea.
I don't know if I want to
Mhm.
touch anything right now. You know that old story, if life hands you lemons, you make lemonade?
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be
Lemons to clean your house.
natural, clear look, shine.
Yeah, they're great for cleaning cutting boards.
I like to use them in my garbage disposal. Let it, rip them all up and everything, and the fresh smell. It's amazing.
I like to do that with baking soda, vinegar, and
I
then
don't blame them. I can remember when I was taught how to do windows with water vinegar mix. That was the most disgusting thing.
I've tried vinegar on my windows, and I must do it. Nobody has newspaper anymore. What is this?
That's what you're doing wrong.
Why wouldn't anything but newspaper work?
I don't know, but that was always a thing. My mom would have a mix of the vinegar and water, and then you have to use the newspaper, and they come out nice and shiny.
I remember people saying to use the newspaper, but I thought it was like,
I'm not really sure. I mean, actually, let's Google.
you need to tell me right now, why isn't my vinegar working?
Which can cause streaking and smudging.
So it is a lint thing.
Well, yeah, but of course there's more to it.
Is there?
Yes.
What is the more to it?
Doesn't leave fibers, and smudging, and that's where it's all nice and clear. See? There's
You
another
think
lemon. There's another lemon in my life. All right, so let's move on. So I guess my mom always swore by it. I hated it, and of course, at least back then when your mother spoke, you listened.
Yeah, nobody does that anymore.
Yeah. Do you listen, Caden?
Yeah,
What kind of pain, honey?
doing everything that people say, and you can't boss people around.
You just got to find someone younger than you.
Then their parents are gonna go after me.
You should have let me have that other baby.
Well, adopt one.
He said adopt one.
Speaking of fun things samples in your book bag, so you have a canned good to turn in at first period, so you can watch.
One of my friends about 32, he gave me one.
Aw, look at these kids take care of themselves already.
Well,
They have to bring a canned good to school, and then they get to watch.
you just get to watch.
Say which
I got no information on it.
they didn't say what age group or anything. It just said to pack it and do that. So
Gotcha. I
they
know
don't give.
we used to do stuff like that here too. Teachers against students. After I left school, there was still quite a bit of time before you got up there. And a lot of things had already changed.
Yeah.
I'll have to check around and see if that is something that they do. And
Why?
it used to be fun.
Well,
Well, come on, Caden. Come live with Grandma so I can go watch a game.
Okay.
He said okay.
All right.
nobody said he didn't.
You
Abandoned her because he was abandoning me.
oh, I thought
And Maddox had a little art show at a different school. I don't know what the art is.
Oh, so you can't give me a sneak peek.
Yeah, no, because I have no idea what it is.
He's
I just
quite
know-
the artist. This is not.
I sent an email saying an art show this day at this school, and the next day or two. And sure enough, I thought too. I was like, I bet you Maddox has got something, but I never said anything. And then he sent me a text today of a picture of the invite where he's invited. I was like, I knew it.
I am not surprised. That boy's been able to draw since he could pick up a pencil and paper.
Yeah, but I don't even know if it's a drawing, because if I had to buy him a camera, I had to buy him a certain type of camera, 2 types of film, because they had to have like black and white and color. They even a wide array of stuff. So I have no idea what's going to be displayed, if it's going to be, what kind of art it's going to
Oh,
be. What do you mean? I'm not holding you. Oh, to the art show?
yeah.
Because you leave the room like I'm holding you hostage. Like, Mom, let me leave your podcast. No, I said,
I'm reading the comments.
talking about, ma'am?
Oh. Well, I'm a little delayed on that one, I guess. Or he is. One
Yeah,
of us
I
is.
saw his comment, but I just ignored it.
Oh.
Because it just said it's shiny. So I was like, nah. That was a real Henry thing to add. They like to troll us when we're on here and just say randomness. Henry's really good for that.
Yeah, sometimes I can't follow where he's coming from, but I guess it's part of life.
I don't think you're meant to follow it. I think he's just randomly. Crickets! This is the.
Was starting to say something, but she interrupted me, so I'm not saying anymore.
Taking all volunteers.
I'm sure you are. I might have to wait till you guys get here and help you unload. I don't know.
So for you automatically, you just click avoid tolls. I know, we got to work on some things. Not necessarily traveling, because I can't travel either, but. Although, funny story, when I traveled to Ohio, what was that, a week or two ago?
Weeks
Two
ago,
weekends
yeah.
ago? I was sicker than a dog. Thought it was my anxiety. I couldn't figure out why, because I shouldn't be stressed. I'm in my hometown with my people. I want to be there, but I'm like,
Right.
it doesn't matter. It's not necessarily a fear of something. It just, yeah, I'm pretty sure I actually just had the flu.
Oh no.
I think I was actually just got regular sick, but I was anxious about getting anxious.
Right. I get that.
Thankfully, my sister, because I called her and I'm like, hey, it was just the flu. But even sick, we got the 2 bedrooms, we got drywall on them. So it's an old house, so it's all plaster. And Nelson wanted to put up, well, we both want drywall up. So he redid the walls, and then he did the ceilings. And we have Amish help. And they're just going to town, hanging the drywall, and we're helping them. And they did the ceilings by some of the walls, and then we were working on the other bedroom and the other ceiling. And as we're hanging the second ceiling, and Nelson's like, what? And he goes, I'm pretty sure it says 2 layers of drywall already. So now the 1 bedroom's going to have 3 layers of drywall on the roof because it was already hung before he noticed. But the other one, thankfully, that kid, it came up because it wasn't, they're trying to tear some of it down and it would not, plaster you hit and it just breaks and it falls all
Right.
apart. And he was like, this just isn't doing that.
Wow. I wonder if
So-
they maybe had something over it that.
Yeah, drywall, ma'am. They had drywall over it. 2 layers.
I meant something else, but okay.
Where they cut they literally had already cut into this and didn't even notice. They cut lights in for holes for the lights
Okay.
in the ceiling. And they even commented, my dad and Nelson were even that it's like they didn't give this because you're like, I ain't got time to think.
Right. Let's just get done.
So these little things were ticking in their brain, but they're just like, we gotta move. We don't have time to think about it. And, yep. So that was a waste of some time and money there with extra drywall on the ceiling. The poor kids had a death in their family.
Ah.
There's they're all cousins, and one of their sisters passed.
Oh,
Their fun time, it makes working a little easier.
right. And, you know,
They
a
were-
relaxed environment always makes it better.
It does. They were teasing Nelson about the electricity because as they're screwing in the drywall, Nelson ran the wires in the house already. They were teasing, how many screws can I put through these wires before it won't work through that, right? You know, poking fun of that. And then Nelson's like, yeah, sure, you could put 3 in before it burns the house down. And the kid's like, don't worry about it.
So what
They
other
have-
life altering? Because everything that you do alters something.
You got lots of life altering things.
Okay, so I'm trying to get my license put back in my maiden name.
Yeah. How's that
Whoa.
going?
That is a chore. I went and they said that there was a block on my license from PA. Didn't make sense, but can't get a hold of him.
A person.
Ohio.
Okay.
So I go back to the BMV or whatever you call it, and she automatically gets on the phone because she wants to make sure this is going to go through. And they're telling her, go ahead and run it through. Nope, still declined. So what they did was 33 years. Something in my maiden name has my license on hold in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
I've had
It's-
my social security number follow me. That doesn't change.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
She's like, you would think so. So now,
Well, that's not very reassuring.
right, what is going on here? Why I can't get my license? I mean, I was almost denied a social security card when I went to my social security card because apparently I don't know who my mother is. So she said something about I've mother birthed me, or did they both birth me and piece me together after the fact? I mean, what information are you looking for?
You have more than one mother.
But what I didn't know, I always assumed.
Now it would be.
So actually, what I had was my birth mother actually was listed on there by 2 different names. She got older, like Social Security, so they had to
Could
switch
you
it.
imagine?
Mother, I said, well, look at it, from this side because this is what happened. And she's still looking at me like I'm just stupid. So,
Yeah, because that's just not. It used to be to take kids. Kids would just be stolen, and you're always wondering, how did somebody not figure it out? How do they get? You need. And someday they're going to be an adult, and they're going to need license. Somebody just said, "Hey, I'm this kid's stepmom. I need her social security card." And some lady was like, "Okay, let's do this."
well, I mean, it's a good name, B. What's her mother's name? I'm like, Valerio. So I was just, she goes, oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, that was just pathetic.
That's why some people stay in crappy marriages because they're afraid to do the hard work you're doing now. But it's gonna.
For 33 years. I've had 2
Yeah,
tickets.
because you were escaping the law. Now we know why. you
Apparently. I've had 2 tickets my entire life. One I was 19. It's paid.
We don't know, but we're dying to find out. You got to hurry up and find out so you can let us know.
Well, I'm going to find out because if not, pretty soon I'm going to be a hellion because right now I'm a criminal-minded person, or, I don't go around here intentionally doing things. So,
You don't go around accidentally doing things either, woman. You don't do anything illegal at all.
you say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, you say it like you're.
I mean, I speed once in a while, That's.
I'm just kidding. I've never seen her speed at all.
I can remember we were actually celebrating our anniversary. All we did was go to Applebee, anything that night. He drank soda. So we're coming down Route 11, and we have to get into the left lane to turn. Their question pulled over here when you did because I don't see any other vehicles. And he goes, I'm going to have to turn. Well, don't you think this is a little soon? This is one of my pet peeves. So here we are on anniversary, freezing, sitting there waiting for this officer to come back to tell us, don't do it again. I could pull over into this lane.
Girl. So
That I'm not really willing to. Just call him for Maddox, who's the quietest one in the bunch. Do I have grandchildren? Can I have one? Join us. Let's see. Topic of life.
During their lifetime has one thing that they chase after, you know, something that makes them feel special. And yeah, like really getting rich.
And how are you going to accomplish that?
I'm gonna accomplish that by working hard, never wasting my days sitting around. And I'm gonna go do lineman work, making about 150, 100 to 100 grand a year, somewhere around that. Escaping, no, lineman, no.
Line
You know what
work.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you said
maybe
lawn
lineman.
work. I got you, honey.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna start a couple businesses eventually.
In there.
My goatee.
Oh, that's part of my life, getting old. Ooh-wee. At least you didn't say I was 100 years old. I have one that says I'm 100.
It feels like for as long as I can remember, you've been in your 50s, so you don't feel that old to me.
Well, seeing how I was, what was it? How old are you? You're 17, 16.
16.
So I am 40 years younger, older than you.
40 years. Why don't you share some of your wisdom since you're 40 years?
Simply because things have really changed. Don't live to please others. And don't misunderstand that. You know, especially like if you're a couple, you have to make compromises and adjustments in life.
Right.
But don't make that your focus, because if you're so busy pleasing everybody else, you lose yourself.
I like that, Grandma.
Well, thank you. Life is always a challenge, right? And sometimes it doesn't come together when you want it to. It's eventually going to get there. Everything in life takes time.
Yeah, that's true. It's very important to teach that some type of lesson as a parent.
Yes, and then like the one thing I would is finances. I was so determined to make sure that my kids had the things I didn't have that I was putting myself more or less. You do what you got to do to get what you want, and that's. Do they offer financing schools should offer? They call it business math, and you learn how to handle everybody else's money. But in that, you don't learn how to manage your own household, your own.
I would love to learn.
A lot of kids get an allowance. It used to, you didn't get the allowance. But nowadays, it's like, okay, well, you get this allowance and that's that. Which is funny because allowance today is much, much, much more when I was a kid. I was lucky if $5 was given back. And stock up on all kinds of neat stuff at home, like models. And if they do, it's basically like holiday stuff and, things like that. So.
Something about, I'm going to look at.
Oh, okay. Up here. He's like, let me up. All right, baby girl. Everybody sees you. Miss Show Off. All right, get down. Go with Tiki. Go lay down. Okay, so what you said what you want to do for yourself.
Right.
Age.
Help somebody my age.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, when I talk to a lot of my friends about like money and things like that, well, yeah, they just like they don't care about it. Like they don't care about like managing their funds and things like that. I feel like
You sell some of your stuff and everything to make money.
Yeah, I like selling shoes, reselling shoes, 'cause that's always something that has a high resale value. Shoes, very popular thing.
Oh yeah, especially if you get the right ones. Grandma wouldn't know how to do it today, but A $10 pair of shoes suits me just fine.
Well, I remember we were always wild.
You guys were pretty young then. Because, you know, your mom's always gone out of town and stuff for like school clothes and everything. Get you
On multiple nice shoes. So I'm very grateful.
account, or do you just manage your
Someone else and do have a bank account for me, they just haven't told me about it. But no, I just manage my own money.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
wondered how that would work.
Yeah, if you're under 18, you just have to get verified by like a parent.
Okay.
Yeah, and like
They transfer that money over to your.
mm,
Are you familiar with that at all?
mm,
Cash App sounds a lot easier, you know, because I know, like for your birthday, you know, holidays and stuff, I just send you money on the Cash App.
yeah, I am. I'm excited. Yeah,
Just
I'm
don't
there.
ever be too old to come see your grandma.
yeah, yeah. And when we get to see I get to see my grandma more often, other than all.
No, like
Oh, why can't you?
I'm not sure how to do that. I have to have Uncle DJ teach me how.
Yeah, you should.
With my luck, if I tried something, I just knock it all out. So,
No, you could probably just stream the call.
What are you guys talking about? How cute Maddox is.
yes, we did talk about that. My little cutie patootie. Only he's about.
5.
Oh, he's 6'5" now. Never mind.
He has to be because he was 6'4" like forever ago.
And mommy stands about 4 foot. No, I'm just.
Oh, Henry said I'd be Louise.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
You know, I one of those that everybody sat intensely and watched and enjoyed, but best friends, so is Law and Order, and I'm golden. That's my life.
Yeah. It's warm in here.
You're just out in the cold.
It's honey. It's 60 degrees outside.
Oh, you had to run.
It feels chilly.
Actually, just a little bit ago, it was snowing really good here.
I know my dad always sends me pictures
Mm.
whenever it's snowing. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Should I tell her what you said about her Maddox, or should I just let it go?
Maddox is my sweet little angel child who loves his mama. Devlin, you could get to crap talk me, but Maddox got offended when he didn't like the way somebody was talking. Never realized.
He's like, Mom's throwing me under the bus over here.
Don't worry, nobody watches. Don't call him out and scare him away.
I just said from Kansas.
Mm.
But no, he was talking about being a lineman, and you know, that's his direction of going in life and making some money. I said, so you want to do landscaping? He's like, no.
Oh my God. Don't worry, she does that stuff all the time. I told Caden don't be an abandoner, and
Would you have heard that the same way, correct?
Abandon her? Yeah, probably.
nah, he's used to me saying it. It probably depends on who it came from, because I do get why you thought I said that.
Okay.
Actually, if there's actually people listening, maybe they remember when I said it. Maybe they should tell us, did it sound like I said abandon her or abandoner? I don't know. But that was,
Henry's
if-
on a kick that you're going to be Louise, and he just got done watching the movie.
oh. Well, if the listeners are anything like us, they already forgot the beginning of this conversation, so.
Yeah, that is true.
He's going back.
I know those voices.
I know.
But on the plus side, if and when grandmother decides to date,
One time, a dude, I was sitting in Applebee's parking lot because Maddox and his friends went to Applebee's after the dance. And I text Maddox about it. Him and a group of his friends came out of the restaurant in their little well-dressed selves, and they all came to the car. Of course, all those kids were like, "Hey, Mom!" And I didn't even get in the car. And he's like, oh, she had to call everybody. He made a little comment.
Oh,
He
did he
shut up
really?
and went back in the restaurant. Out of the car with him. She was in the restaurant. He kept coming out.
And she's not questioning that.
Men are. Well, of course we would. We're women.
I'd go back, I'd go in there and say, hey, dude, what you have to give my daughter a hard time for? You got a woman.
Yeah. Oh, this must be your sister. Because I know you wouldn't have asked me for my number if you were in with your wife or girlfriend.
Right. Watch him
Oh,
wear
well.
the drink. Let's just hope
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not one of those red sangrias. Those are good.
You know, speaking of, you said that there's, you know, you said you had to go to Applebee's because there's
Those are like the real good ones down there, a little out of our price range, I think. At least
I think
then.
it depends on which one you go to.
You know what it's like when you're not really familiar with something, but you
And Renix has some really good steak,
talk about Renix, I get a little confused.
all fancy. You'll have to try.
Yeah, when I find somebody to go out to eat with me because I don't go alone. When I go someplace, I feel weird sitting there by myself.
How would you know that? Oh, you did go by yourself
Done
one time.
it. I've done it a couple times actually.
But I get not wanting to go by yourself. But
Because I don't want to go by myself.
you have other people think that. I know divorce is hard, but you're probably less alone now than you were when you were married. You realize that, right?
Well, only because I know now that I have to talk to the
And I guess I shouldn't say now me, because and Henry are finally pulling their weight in all of this. But for real, everybody's. Yes, so if somebody wants to volunteer to be Bonnie's friend to take a little weight off of me and my brothers, that would be wonderful. Interviews and applications.
Oh, we're going that deep.
Yes, they must be alive.
But
Too soon, Bonnie. Too soon.
yes, that was it would be the poor family members have to deal with all of this.
How did they bust those people?
in the process?
Oh my gosh! So they ratted their own selves out. Nelson's right. You don't go to jail unless you want to go to jail.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's his other favorite saying.
Well, they just won one heck of a prize. I pray they do a long time.
900. Well, I'm sure they will, because it's not a joke to move around a dead body. Like, they don't take lightly to that.
Right now, I know they're facing a few charges each, and like I said, if something comes back in the autopsy, which I hope it doesn't, I really do hope that poor man passed peacefully. You know, as long as the bank would allow them to make a withdrawal, as long as he was in the vehicle with them. So I don't know if they had somebody back there shaking his head yes. I don't know how they pulled it off.
Well, they made a whole movie about it
I'm sure we made People magazine, that's for sure.
called "Don't Tell Mom."
Little old Ashtabula.
So there's "Don't Tell Mom," the babysitter's dead.
Something Bernie.
Yes. Movies aren't real when they didn't have video games.
Oh,
To teach
who
them.
knows? I know the kids today learn off the video games. We learned off of TV shows. I get it.
I'm sure the radio used to be a bad influence too.
I don't even think they really had talk shows. Like their idea of a talk show was in the morning swap shop.
Yeah, but radio used to be telling stories and stuff before TV.
Oh, you know what? That's true.
Because, you know, you think yours were less graphic, but your mom would say yours was more, you know, each generation thinks theirs is worse.
That is true.
And, you know, I know of a little town where women reading books is considered insane, and this girl had to run off into the woods to get away from this butthole guy, and she ended up getting, like, locked up and trapped in this castle for a while, but Should have been a comedian. That would have been a really good joke.
Yes. That, for some reason, that one didn't click. I was just thinking Little Red Riding Hood. Next week, we'll work on another subject, try to be a little more informative. I don't know. Maddox
Bonnie
was very
likes to want to
informative.
teach you people stuff, even though we're not trained to teach you anything.
About
You know
stuff
what the
that
Google says.
it's to talk about the stuff that's going on around us so that people could say, oh, shoot, maybe we should try,
Oh
who
shoot,
knows? What are you shooting?
you! I was just
Oh.
copying you.
See what kind of life I live?
A good one. It doesn't even make sense. The stuff that happens to you, the benefit of the doubt, even when they don't deserve it, even when they show you who they are 1,000 times, you think the next time is the time they're changed and better and wonderful. Some people just don't change.
I know.
But
I'm learning. The older I get,
I
the more I
hope you
learn.
are. I hope you are. You've been a doormat long enough, and now you're.
I'm going to find out it's something else.
Yeah, I don't know. This is insane to me. It doesn't make sense if you to do anything. She makes somebody else drive if it's not to local and Ashtabula local. You could be going to Geneva and she'll be like, "That's too far. You drive. All right."
Tina says, just let me put that out there. She likes to mess with me, so.
Yes, but for real though, you would not drive to PA. You would have had somebody else drive you.
I have driven to PA a lot of times.
No, I don't believe
I
it.
actually lived in PA for a small moment.
Now you had to change your name to get away from the horrible thing you did, and now you forgot about it. Now you got to change your name back, and
I told you not to discuss that, but you don't listen to what I say. See,
well, you told people
kids
you
don't
don't.
listen.
It's all that back child support you owe. Horrifying, and you never paid child support on it. And now that's why they took you to Pennsylvania.
I don't know. And she's going to be the one locked in a little castle shortly here. It's going to have some rubber walls in there. We'll come up with something really good for next week, and I don't know. I'm not sure what it is yet. We'll come up with something.